Good morning and good afternoon to our colleagues in Ethiopia, and good morning to our ASU panel, our ASU team. Please take this opportunity to introduce yourself, like your name, the institution you're representing, and of course, what are you looking forward for this specific webinar? Yeah, we will just give 1 minute for people to join us, then we'll just kick off. Welcome to everyone who is joining us. Please drop your name, your institution, and what you're excited about for this Coffee Talk series. Okay, we have like a very good number. So I'll just, get us started. As you all know, the Coffee Talk series, our monthly initiative, and it's part of our efforts in building like a hub that will foster like a collaborative ASHI community where we come together and, share best practice and innovative EdTech strategies. For this edition, we'll be talking about, creating and loading your content online. And this is our team. As some of you have already interacted them on email and on different sessions. So this is going to be our agenda. We're going to have like a panel discussion. We are diving into it right away, no wasting time. We're going to have a Q&A and of course, updates on what comes after. So before we start, I would like to just welcome the team, our panelists. Today, we're going to have like some of our amazing team members who have been really who have experience in, creating and loading content online. And we also believe that everyone here is an expert. So don't hesitate to share your thoughts, your contribution, your tips in the chat bot. These always come in handy. We also have like a Q&A where you just, be able to ask questions. And if you find like a question that you also resonate with, please go on and upvote it. And yeah, so I will just open the floor to the panelists and for them to introduce themselves, 30 seconds. I'll start with Bemileke.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Good morning or afternoon, whatever the time is at your end. My name is Bemileke, and I'm a business analyst associate. I work with the ESHI project team. And I'm excited to be here.
Thank you so much. I'll welcome Kevin to introduce himself. Okay,
sorry about that. I'm having some technical issues. But good morning, good evening. I am Kevin Ketratana. I'm a senior business analyst with the project team here at Arizona State University and EdPlus. And I work with the various processes and documenting the different workflows and such that support the ESHI platform. So happy to be here and look forward to hearing the questions and insights from everyone.
Thank you. My name is Kim Welch. I've actually been with you before. So I'm the Principal International Instructional Designer and Trainer for the ESHI project. And my background is in teaching languages. So as a faculty member teaching English and French, and I have a doctorate in learning technologies. So I've been working with this project for about 2.5 years, and I'm always so happy to be with you. Christy.
Hi, I'm Christy Foote-Zdarovich. I am a Curriculum and Learning Experience Manager, and in that role, I oversee course creations. I work on the Baobab platform, which is like a sister project to this, that is a social learning network for the Alumni MasterCard Foundation programs. And over from Baobab, I've overseen the creation of over 120 courses in both French and English. Over here on the Ishi side, I also help develop courses. If you took any of the strategies of successful online learning, those are courses I help create. So I am happy to be here and share my experience of building on Open edX. Elizabeth.
Good afternoon, everybody. I am Elizabeth Gordon, Assistant Director of Learning Technology, International Learning Technologies and Instructional Design. I've been working with Open edX for 10 years now, but my background is in history. I actually have taught history for about 15 years. Really looking forward to talking about some of the lessons we've learned over the years we've been working in teaching online, and kind of sharing some insights we think might be helpful to you in this process. So glad to see all of you here.
Okay, thank you so much to our panelists, and also thank you so much to our audience. We look forward to this conversation, and again, I want to highlight this, you as the audience, you're also experts, so we really welcome you to really share like your tips and your experience on how do we, get this content, like how do we create and load it online. So yeah, let's get to business. So the first question here is, how do you, and I'm going to bring it to, I'm going to ask this question to Kim. So do you have a particular way you organize or structure content as you build your online course material?
Thank you, Joss. Yes, and I love to kick this off because I want to say that we are mimicking with these coffee talk sessions some of the ways that we go about structuring and organizing our own courses. And so we started with the syllabus, and that's usually where we start, is we go to that syllabus and we look at the elements. Those are the building blocks that we're going to use for our course design, and especially the unit structure. So whether that's by week, by chapter, by module, however you have it. And then the biggest thing we have, if you want to go to the next slide, is our course learning objectives. So the measurable course learning objectives become the guide for all of our decisions about content, organization, and structure. So for example, I'm going to thread a little example with my response here. If I'm in a Physics 101 course and I have as this higher level objective, a course level objective, evaluate how modern physics theories can explain events better than classical physics. That's one of several course level objectives that I have. I'm going to build around that and build for this. So we think first of the end. So we have the end in mind first, and then we start to structure backwards from there. From this, we take that syllabus and the elements that we have. If you go to the next slide, Joss, we map out exactly how we're going to, what elements we need in our course to be able to help our students achieve that objective. So the objective is the big picture here. And then we take those modules or the weekly chapter elements and we put them here on the side. If you look at this left column, we're putting in module title or unit titles. And then we decide which course level objectives we're going to treat or touch upon in that course, in that module or unit. And so here I just have it in numerical. We usually put a number to our course level objectives. We might have 5, we might have 8 course level objectives. And so we put those there. And then we break those down into smaller units where we say, in this module, we're going to help them. What do they need first to be able to build to that higher level objective? Go back to this, yes. And so, for example, if we're getting them to this higher level, so if you remember in masterclass, we talked about Bloom's taxonomy and how we have a high level, some higher level outcomes, and we have some lower level. We start with the lower level outcomes. So here, recall, that's like remembering, summarize, it's really just stating the things that are there, and we're building towards that place where we can then evaluate. So that's that higher level objective. And then this feels a little unnatural to people, but the first thing we do after that is decide, well, what assessment are we going to be able to use to be able to assess if that module level objective is met, and then how to build up to that course level objective. So we list out our assessments first, and then we start to get together our activities and learning materials. Now, a lot of people will go backwards. They think that they have to start with the materials they have, just put them online, and then they decide their assessments later. We do the backwards way. So we have all of this set up so that we work backwards. It's called backwards design. We think of the end first and build backwards from there. And then if you go to the next slide, Joss, we flip that to where we start to build out our outline. And in the outline, so we always give a course overview first. So the very first thing is we tell them what those course level objectives are. We give the description of the course. We list the instructors. We tell them just that basic overview of the course. We do that first. And then there are 4 elements in Open edX that you need to pay attention to be able to build. The first one is you need sections. These are your modules. Think of your weekly units, your chapters, whatever they are. We build those first. And then we have subsections after that, where it's smaller topics within those sections, those modules. And then the unit titles, think of a page. We have a page that fits into that subsection. And then within that, we have components. So it's these 4 things: section, subsection, unit, and then component. In the component, that's our content. So what kind of PDFs do we have? What kind of images or videos? What learning materials? What interactives do we have? And what assessments? Those are the components. So if you go to the next page from there, so now this is our brief outline. We build it out into a bigger, we usually take a separate document first and we put it all there. We are big Google Doc users, and so we'll do this on Google Docs. We'll work together a lot of times as instructional designers. Alone, if you are a faculty member, you can do it alone as well. You put that overview first, and then you start building out those sections, subsections, topics or units, and then you go into those components. So the little granular things. So we start listing out exactly what video we're using. We list out what text we're going to put in, what readings we're going to put in, and we have this in a document, and then we start building in Open edX. If you go to the next page, just to show you what it looks like a little bit in Open edX. So if I'm just going to do this briefly, just the outline structure at least, in Open edX, I first start with that section. So for example, Module 1, Intro to Modern Physics, that goes into the section area of Open edX. So if you've been through your How to Build in Open edX, you'll see that you have a section, and then our subsection, what is physics? Our unit might be basic physics. So that's one page that we talk about basic physics, and then we put the components there. So there's a text box and a video there. And then we do the next subsection that fits into that Intro to Modern Physics. We say classical versus modern physics. We have 3 pages here: classical, modern physics, and then comparing old and new. And then we go to the next section or the next unit and start doing that. So this is how we build out that outline. And then afterwards, if you go to the next page, we go to the components. Now this, my colleague Christy is going to talk a little bit more about this, but these components are the building blocks of your PDFs, your videos, all of those types of things. So that's how we structure it. We lay it out first elsewhere, and then we bring it in, and we always think of that end first. So that end goal of how we're going to build to that course level objective. So I'll turn that over. I think my part's done, and I'll let you ask the next question. Thanks, Joss.
So before I ask the next question, and I just wanted to ask you, like, I, as a professor, already have my material prepared that I've been, teaching in person. Why is it important for me to structure and organize this way? Why can't I just, take the material that I've already prepared on my PC and just upload them?
Good. So the structure is very important. You need to be a guide in that online space. You need to be able to guide them to what they're doing and have that structure, that end in mind. So if you just have a whole bunch of readings or videos even, or whatever you want to put up, they might be learning something, but if they don't have an end goal in mind, it's really hard to assess what they're learning, and it's hard for them to navigate what they're supposed to pay attention to. So if you can go in there and have that objective first and really outline that, and then really consider which readings are best, instead of just what you have, put it online, which readings are best to build toward this end goal, then you will start to realize like the stepping stones that the students need to be able to achieve those those goals. So definitely start there first. You might be throwing some of your content out that you've taught in the face-to-face classroom sometimes because you're really structuring this in a strategic way for them.
Thank you so much. Thank you for just preparing like the foundation for the next question. So the next question goes to Christy. And so you have, as a professor, I have a lot of material already, and there's a lot of material out there to educate. So how do you decide the type of content to use when you're creating online material? Like, how do you decide if I have text, I have presentations, I have reading materials, so how do I decide which one to put, which one to prioritize? I'll give it to you, Christy.
Thank you. And that's one reason it's really important to plan out before you start building. Because once you plan it out and you're looking at it, then it's really easy to see, okay, what do I need? The first thing I always look for is, do I have big blocks of text? Because that, when you're reading a course and it's just a whole page of text, sometimes you lose your learner's attention. And so I look for that. And then I look, okay, how can I make this more exciting? Yeah, start there. Wait, let's go back. So before I say anything else, I want to let everyone know that everything I'm about to say can also be found in our course, How to Build an Open edX. So all of this is there in detail. So if I'm going too fast or you missed something, you can find everything there. So the first component we have here is the advanced component. I say this is where all the fun stuff is. You can find word clouds, polls, surveys. If you are going to be using the Ishi Media app, which Kevin and Bemi will talk about in a minute, that's where you find that. I like to start my courses with these because I want to start with something fun. For example, right now I am building for Ishi an AI Essentials course. And we're going to start out with a poll of, have you ever used AI before? And everyone's going to respond, yes, no, we'll get the percentages. And then we're going to tell them, hey, you have and you haven't, you used it. I also love using word clouds to grab their attention. So this to me is the fun stuff. All right, next slide. There's also this video component. So if you have a YouTube link and you don't need to use the Ishi Media, this is where you put your YouTube link. I like to use videos to break up large blocks of text. Let's say I look and there's just a lot of text there, then that might be something we put into a video. I also like it when you need to demonstrate a concept, show them how it's done. If it's a difficult concept that you know that just reading it isn't going to be enough, you do it. Storytelling. Students love storytelling. I know with history, you turn to a story, you got their attention. So that. Also something to keep in mind with videos, the way I look at videos is if someone's already made it and it's good and it fits my audience, we will not recreate it. So when you go through the courses that we make, you'll notice there's a mix of videos we made and other people have made because that's how we look at it. Video takes time. And so if someone's done it and it's great, use it. All right, the next one, Joss. So discussion, this is where you imitate classroom discussions. I love putting discussion boards into courses. We recently did a feedback session with our learners and someone told me how much they like to go back and revisit the discussion boards because they learned so much from the other learners. And this is in these big open courses where students still like them because they can learn from each other. All right, next one, Joss. This is your text box. This is the one you'll probably use the most. We use text box a lot. Even if, let's say you're putting a video on a page, you still want a text box above that just to tell them why you're watching this video. Watch this video to learn blank. When you are done, do blank. We also use it to connect ideas. So like, here's a video and then here's something else. There we use it. This is also, let's say there is a big group of text. It's got to be there because, sometimes we're in education, you have to read. And then that might be where you can add graphics to break it up, add a little more excitement. So you can do all that and more in a text box. So when you click text box, this is what you're going to see. Next slide. So if you just want a classic text box with a basic editor, you just hit text. And there you can just type it in. We also an announcement one. Another one I use a lot is an iframe tool. So we use some secondary sources like H5P, or sometimes websites will give you an embed code. You can use that there. You can also use a raw HTML. If you are really good with your coding and you know how to code HTML and you want a certain thing, you can just stick it in there. And then the zooming image tool, it's a little harder to use, but especially if you're using maps or other complex images that you want your learner to zoom in and out of, you can use that. Okay, next slide. Open response. This is what we use for writing assignments. So this is where you get your students to explain what they know, to prove that they know what you've been talking about. And you can set them up, you can have them grade each other, you can score them, they can score themselves, you add your rubric, and we go in detail on how to use this in the course, how to build an open edX. Okay, next slide. The problem, this is like our favorite. This is where you test what your students know. You can do multiple choice, true, false, drop down, check boxes, and more. I love to put these in the middle of a course just to see, hey, how are we doing? And sometimes I don't even grade them. It's just like a quick self-check for themselves. Next one. And then we've got the drag and drop. This is really fun for interacting, especially if you want them, like when you want them to play with the content in a safe way where they can kind of experiment. Drag and drop is great. That's where you grab something and you drop it. Me and Joss's favorite one is the one we built in How to Learn in Open edX, where we have a plate of food and they have to match the different Ethiopian food with the name. That's a really fun one. So wait, go back forward one more, Joss. So matching, labelizing, categorizing, sequencing, you can do a lot with drag and drop. So those are your basic components. And so when I make a course, I go through everything that Kim just said. They'll tell you, everyone on the panel will tell you, I'm very obsessed with, we have to plan everything first. I have tried to do it where I throw everything on there first and then do it, and it never works. And I've learned the hard way. Plan it all out first. I look at it and I think, okay, how can I make this better? What Open edX tools do I have that I can use? So I would suggest that everyone go in there and play around with those tools and take the course, How to Build an Open edX. All right, Joss, back to you.
Thank you so much. Before I take it to the next session, in few words, what would you like our audience to take? And this is based on this question, which among the type of content is important? Is it text? Is it video? Is it discussion? Which one is more important when you're building your course?
I think I think they're all important, and it depends on what your objective is. So it's most important to pick the component that's going to help you reach your learning objective. Now, let's say we're talking about practicing to learn Open edX. I would master the text box first, because that is the one you use the most. Get used to using that one first, because you will need text a lot. That's how we guide our students through the course. And then after that, I play around with your advanced components. And then learning how to add videos is also extremely important. And Kevin and Bemi will talk about that in a second.
Thank you so much, Christy. And this one goes to, this one is gonna go to Elizabeth, and then Leki and Kevin will take on after this. And my question goes to you, Elizabeth, is in the midst of me building all of this material, like I have my text, I have my videos, I have my PDF and my presentation. As I design, like where do I store this material before loading them? Like where can I safely and efficiently load them? Yeah, I'll give it to you, Elizabeth.
This actually is one of the topics I like to talk about a lot. We work as a team. We all work together. And even if you're just the sole kind of designer on the course, it's just you and you're making all the content, you're more than likely you're going to get help from, say, the multimedia developers. Maybe you have a graphic designer. Maybe there's a research assistant, in your department. But even if you don't, keeping your content organized is really going to be important. And Josh, you'll go to the next slide. The number one role that I use for our team, my boss actually has a nice joke about me being very, very strict about this, because she didn't do this when we first got to know each other. I say always store in the cloud. If you have your university ID is tied either likely to Microsoft or Google Drive, so you already have a login for one of those. So you already have access to their cloud, either the OneDrive or Google Drive. There's also Dropbox that is out there. All of them have a free tier availability, but there's also a paid plan. If you are on those university things, you more than likely have a paid tier level. So the reason why you want to store in the cloud is if you keep it on your computer and your computer crashes, you need to get a tech person to maybe try to recover that. I've actually had a friend who lost all of the content for all of her courses because she kept it all on her computer and her computer crashed. And the only thing she had left was the things that she'd uploaded to the course. So keeping things in the cloud makes them accessible to you anywhere. So you leave your laptop at home, or you're at home instead of at work where your desktop is, you'll be able to access that anywhere, and it'll always be available to you. So I say this all the time, every time I hire a new staff person to our team, it's always keep it in the Google Drive, keep it in the Google Drive. There should be nothing on your computer. And that way also, your department, if you are trying to get somebody to collaborate with you on that, having them be able to access that and share that out is a really easy process. And then the next really key topic on the next slide, keep it organized. This is the other conversation I have with a lot of folks, is making sure that you have a structure in place, just like you structure your content. You need to structure the files themselves. So we had, what I'm showing is one component of our course. So course section. So we were the instructional design team on a different project, and we had a bunch of different classes. We had one series of courses that we called CCP, College and Career Preparedness. And we had, as you can see, a bunch of courses in that series. So I had a top folder that was the CCP folder. And in that, what you see is there on the left, CCP 101, CCP 200, CCP 201, CCP 300. They were all right there in the same folder. So if I was wanting to bring a concept that we had introduced in 101, and then we get to 302, I wanted to reintroduce that concept, remind them of that, getting to the files would be super easy from in there. We're going to open up the CCP 200, the University Experience course, and I'm going to show you a few lessons we learned the hard way. Make sure you're consistent with how you put that course code. If you use a dash in between the course letters and the number, do it every single time with every file, because otherwise it's going to confuse you if you go to search for it. So you can see the first three files there. We have it CCP-200. I could never find the quiz for this course because I would type in CCP 200 and expect it to pull up in the search, and it never would. So I always had to go and click on the file and folder and go and search for it because we didn't name it consistently. So make sure that you're consistent. If you use a hyphen, that little dash in the middle, great, but do it all the time. If you don't use one, great, do it all the time. And then the rest of the file name should be what the content of that file is. I know I have one colleague we've worked with who wanted everything to be in just one document. But then I would have different people do different things with the documents. And if it was all in one folder, that document became huge and unwieldy, especially if you're doing a semester-long course. One document alone could be super unwieldy. So maybe you want to have one document for each module. Maybe you want to do it where you have the assessments all in one document. If you are going to work with a graphic designer, if you are lucky enough to have somebody on your team who can make graphics for you, you'll want to have all the content that they will need in order to create the document the graphics, where you just describe what graphic you want. Maybe you found an image on the internet and you want it's kind of like this, but remove this and add this and these words instead. All of that should be in one document, so you can just give it to the multimedia designer. If you're going to record some videos, you'll want the scripts for those videos all to be in a separate document. So maybe your studio has like a teleprompter, or maybe you just want the ability to kind of enlarge it on a little side screen so you can read from that while you record your videos, or maybe just look at that. But again, different documents for different purposes, and name them what they are inside. So make sure it's not just CCP 201 document 1. Make sure it's descriptive. It's CCP document, CCP 200 module 1, or you can see here we have final draft content. That's also important. If you've got a draft document and then a final document that's been reviewed, make sure that's named. And I know I've gone more than 5 minutes, but happy to talk more about kind of the file organization, but super important to just stick a plan and keep to it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for sharing. And I think the big take here is not just like, storing the information on cloud, but also how you organize it. But before I dive into the next topic, in 30 seconds, for someone who has been storing things on their laptop, how do they build like that habit slowly but surely of like, storing things online? Like, how did you go about it when you are starting off?
It definitely was hard to get adjusted to it at first, but one of the things I did when I first started using the Google Drive was if I touched a document in my laptop, I would immediately, before I started working on it, so I wanted to open up the CCP 200 document that was on my laptop. Before I would start working on it, I would put it into the drive first. I'd create that file structure, put it into the drive. Then I was lucky enough, we got an assistant over the summer one year, and they were able to, I actually gave them my laptop and I said, would you move all of the stuff that I have in my laptop and just move it into the drive for me? So that it was a cheater way to do it a little bit, but sometimes it's just about deciding that today's the day that I'm going to organize this course and bring those things online. But it's a process. So.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. In the same line of storing, we're gonna talk about like our own Ishi Media app that is very important in storing like visuals. And I would open the floor to our team, Leki and Kevin. Whoever wants to go first, the floor is yours.
Okay. Hello everyone. I'll be talking you all through the Ishi Media app, which is a platform where you can store your videos so that you can use them in your course. Next slide, please. So this is an overview of what I'm going to do. I'll tell you what the Ishi Media app is and what are the features, how to get access to the Ishi Media app. And then I'll do just a run through of the tasks you can perform. So how to log in, upload your video, view generated captions, and add a video to a course. We know that this is new, so we've already created robust resources for you to use. So we have the Ishi Help Center, and then we also have an FAQs directory, which answers many questions and provides both video and text guides on how to use the media app. Next slide. Okay, so what is the Ishi Media app? It is a secure place to store and manage your original digital content. Emphasis on original. So this is not that you went on some video platform, maybe like YouTube or somewhere, and you got a video that you think is useful for your course, and then you are copying that. I want to download and upload it. This has to be content that you have made yourself. So you're taking a course in history, maybe you've made a screen recording of some content, or you've done a recording in the media hub somewhere and you want to put that in your course. So you can upload your own videos or files to build a personal media library. The app creates easy to use links that you can share in the course and for your students, and you can log into your to the media app from any device once it's connected to the internet. So what are the advantages of the media app? Adaptive streaming. This essentially just means that even when your internet quality is slow, you can easily move, rewind or go back and replay the video. Reusable media links. This means that you may be using one video in 3 or 4 courses, for instance. That you just need to upload the video once and then copy that link and embed it in as many courses as you want to. Storage impacts. Elizabeth also mentioned, not putting anything on your device, and that's why she emphasized the cloud. This also helps you so that you don't have a ton of videos clogging up your machines. And number 4, which is very, very important, is also generated subtitles. If you've ever watched a video on YouTube, you see that there's like a small icon, CC. Even here on Zoom, you can see beneath your screen and the bar below show captions, so you can auto generate English subtitles and edit them to fit your course. And then course integration. Again, supplies ready to use links to your media that can easily be embedded in the course content. Next slide. Okay, now that we've given an overview of what the app is, how do you get access to the app? before you get access to the app, there are a number of requirements that you need to meet. And you need to meet all these prerequisites, every single one of them. You either have to be an instructor or staff. You must have successfully completed the How to Build an Open EdX Studio ISHI course. You must have a course dev shell prepared, and you must have media files ready to upload. Let me speak on the last two requirements. Having a course dev shell. So this means that you're already building a course. So you're not just out of the blue requesting access. You're already building a course, and maybe you've even added all the other components, and you're like, oh, I need video. So, and then you have media files ready to upload. Like I said, you've already recorded yourself. Maybe it's a screen recording, whether it's a recording of you presenting the topic. And so you must meet all these access requirements. Then how do you request access? Several ways you can request access. First one is that you contact your e-learning team member who has level 1 e-list access. Another way is to submit a support case. We're going to, through the ISHI Help Center on your ISHI portal, we'll get that and grant you access. And then finally, you can just email your request to ishi.support@asu.edu, and we'll also get that request. Like I said, there are access requirements. So if you don't get access, it would be because you have not met all the requirements stated here. Next slide. Okay, so now I want to do a run through of the various things you can use the media app to do, and essentially show you what the media app looks like. Next slide. So we're going to learn how to log into the media app. First thing here, which is, this is the URL, which is media.courses.ethernet.edu.et. You're going to sign in to this platform with your institutional email address and password, and then you'll be directed to the ISHI Media application dashboard upon successfully logging in. Next slide. Okay, so when you successfully log in, this is what it looks like. This is your first time here. You haven't uploaded anything. This is what the platform looks like. Next one. Okay, so the major reason I spoke about why this app is useful is that, you know, it's a place for you to put all your video resources. So the very first thing we're going to do on the app is upload a video. And it's very, very obvious. There is an upload new video button on the top right-hand corner. So when you click that, next slide, it will take you to this page where you can select your video. This may not be very clear, but videos have specific requirements that they must meet again. It mustn't be more than 250 MB. They are accepted file types. So there's MOV, MP4, MPEG. So again, you just look at this, and there are online converters in case you have a video that doesn't, which is not in any of these formats. You can easily just convert that those online. And then again, the video name has certain rules as well. There are certain characters that you cannot use in your video title. So again, you will review all this and ensure that you meet all the requirements for the video size and format, and then also for the video title. And then you'd select your video, input the video title, and next slide. Yeah. You determine whether or not the video is shareable. Shareable just means that when video students are watching the video, they have the option of downloading it to their device. So if you want them to only access it online when they're in your course, that's fine. If you want them to be able to download it, that's also fine. Next slide. Okay. And then you come to a part where you ask in the upload process where you see optional step, add your own captions. So even though the platform will auto-generate English captions for you, you may decide that you want your own captions. You don't want to go through the hassle of maybe editing the auto-generated captions. So you can upload your captions, or you can skip this step and come back to it later. Next slide. Then you hit the upload video button. Next slide. And then your video is successfully uploaded. So now we'll go back to the video library. Next slide. And so this is what your media dashboard will look like. the video that you uploaded will now show here. So if you upload 10 videos, you see all the videos that you've uploaded, successfully uploaded. When you log in, you see them on the media dashboard. Next slide. So I mentioned downloading generated captions. So to download the generated captions, again, in case you want to review the file and make edits, you just click on the video from the media dashboard, and then it will bring you to video details. And below here, you can see download auto-generated captions, and then you download the captions. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, and then so the next thing we are doing here is to add a video to a course. Let's say that now you've successfully uploaded your video to the media app. You worked on the captions and everything is fine. Now you need to embed this video in your course. So what you're going to do is you log into the Ishi portal, and then you look at the courses that you have. Then next slide. For instance, for this one, you click on Go to Studio. And then in Studio, you go to the specific units that you want to embed your video. And then you see this Add New Components. Under Add New Component, you click on Advanced. Next slide. And then you select Video iframe. Next slide. And you click on Edit. And then now you have the details of the video that you want to embed. But we're going to take a pause here and then now go back to the media app, because the video that we're going to use is on the media app. So for the next set of steps, we're going to go back to the media app, copy the embed link, paste it here so that we can embed it. So next slide. So now we're back in the media app, and then we're going to copy the embed link. Next slide. When you click on copy URL, next slide. And then now you go back to the course in Studio that's already open, put the video title, put the video URL, and then next slide. And you click on save. Next slide. And then your video has successfully been, go back, please. Thank you. Your video, can you go back, please? Your video has successfully been embedded. I know this seems like a lot, but the great thing, like I said at the beginning of this session, is that we already have resources for you. So we have text guides and knowledge-based articles. We also have video guides on how to perform all these steps. So you don't have to be confused. They're pretty straightforward, and it just takes, a little practice going between all these steps. And if you've gone through all our help resources, which I'll show you how to access in the next slide, and you still have questions, you can definitely reach out to us, submit a support case, and then we'll help. So next slide. All right, like I said, we already have resources for you. So these are some of the articles that we already have. We have like a number on how to upload the videos. We have frequently asked questions that you may have. And all you need to do is go to the help center, and then we're also going to, this is being, I see a number of people asking if this is recorded, if this is going to be shared. So it's recorded and it's going to be shared to you. So you can definitely gain access to these resources. And they're very helpful. Like I said, it seems very difficult at the beginning, but with time and practice, you'll definitely get through all that is here. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Bemi and Diotian and Kevin, for putting this together. In just like few words, like 30 seconds, like I just want you to, highlight why should I keep my video on the Ishi Media app and not in my laptop or even and list it on YouTube. And who can upload on Ishi Media? And this goes to you, Bemi and Kevin.
Okay. So why do you put your videos on the media app? Number one, like I said, Elizabeth mentioned putting your materials on the cloud. But again, this is a dedicated platform for videos for the Ishi. So you definitely need to put this on there. And like it also makes generating captions pretty easy. It's easy for you to embed your video once you copy the embed link into different courses and reuse that. You are not at the mercy of YouTube. You know, the platform is here for you. If you have any problems, you can easily just reach out and say, oh, I have XYZ problem, and then we get that fixed. And for those who have access to the media app, like I said, I already gave prerequisites for requesting access. So you obviously have to be an instructor or staff. So this is not for students. Your students will see whatever video you embed in the course. So they're not going to have access to the media app, but they will have access to the videos that you embed in your course. So staff and instructors who meet the requirements that I've stated earlier. And yeah, so it's very important to have something that is built for purpose specifically for the Ishi platform. And that's what the Ishi Media app is.
Thank you so much, Bembi, to you and your team. So I think this is where we open it up for the Q&A. And one of the question I have here is like, how long can the Open edX LMS be free accessible in Ethiopia for actual teaching learning process? Some people have doubt about its durability.
I'll jump in and answer this one. We've spoken to the ministry. We work closely with representatives from the ministry, and we are building this for the future. We are building this for posterity. We're building this for forever. So obviously, I think forever is probably ridiculous. There probably will be some other technology that surpasses this eventually. But the commitment is to have this available. This is the platform. This is why we're making this investment. This is the reason why MasterCard Foundation has generously funded this project, is to build something that all of these children who are currently going through the Ethiopian school system will have access to this platform to meet that capacity. So this is the intent. We have 2 years left that are already funded of this project. So at the very least, it's funded through then. But I think even beyond that, the idea is to really capacitate the future growth of all Ethiopian universities through this specific platform. In terms of the freely available, that part is I can't speak to. I'm not sure what the model will look like for each of the universities in their ability to participate. But the idea for the university professors to be able to build, this is the commitment. This is what we're building for. We actually, all of us on this team have been very much looking forward to continuing to watch how this program and this platform develops to see the kind of cascading impact for all of the universities. So.
Thank you so much. I think I'm gonna put you on spotlight, Kevin. We have a question like, what about the license and the security issue regarding the storing on this media app?
Sure, I was about to type a response to that, but if you mean by, let's take the licensure first. This is your material, so this wouldn't be anything that's copyrighted elsewhere. This would be your material, and to that effect, you would be the only person who would have direct access to the material aside from any administrator. So you would be able to control to whom you would provide the link and to which courses you would wish to embed these videos in your courses. And so there is that component as far as the security. Again, that's why we have the controls on who gets access, and you'd have to to meet those qualifications that were mentioned before. And so again, only you and anyone you deem appropriate or any supervisors would have access to that.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think I would Kim, I'll just like ask you this question, and someone was asking like where can they get the previous talk series, like this series that we're doing, like where can they find them?
Yeah, Elizabeth and I can actually answer that one. We have created a website, and that website has all of the previous talks that we've done. So the recordings of those slides and the resource pages. So you'll have access to that. And that is coming soon. I mean, it's Elizabeth, how soon do you want to do that? We just have one more review to do of it, and then we'll be able to put that out there.
I literally just clicked through. I think we're good. So we'll, if anybody finds any problems, please be patient with us, because we probably could have waited, but I'll post the link in the chat now. So definitely if you find anything that doesn't work, let us know. But all of the, not only the Coffee Talk series, but with a few years ago with a different project, similar goal, we did another series of webinars like this. And so those are all there, a lot of resources available. So each of the webinar series has the link to the recording video, the slide deck, and then a page of kind of questions and resources that might be useful to you. So all of that is available. I just posted that in the chat.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think again, this will go to Kim and Elizabeth, and I think maybe Kevin and Lekki will chip in. So someone is asking, when I finish the course on Open edX course, it asks where can I request for the dev shell or a library request. So what is the difference between the two, like a library request and the dev shell? And a sub question to that is, which one should I request first?
So you always want to request a course shell first. That's the part that Chrissy was showing, where all those components are located. That's in your course dev shell. A library is basically a quiz bank, a question bank. So let's say you're doing a math class and you have you're doing and I'm going to get myself into trouble because this is not my thing to talk about math, but let's say you're going to do a math class and you've got kind of the first set of skills. So you want to do like an addition and subtraction quiz. So you would want them to have like 20, 30 different questions that are addition and subtraction questions with different numbers, maybe small numbers, big numbers. So you would build like maybe 100, 150 addition and subtraction questions in a question library. And then in the course itself, you build a quiz component that says randomly pick 20 of those questions from the question library to show to the students, so that it makes it harder to cheat. And we'll talk about this kind of in detail in our online assessments ones. But if there is a question bank, it's a whole lot harder to cheat because every student gets a slightly different quiz, but it still tests the same skills. So that's what a library does. So you should only do that, request a library, if you know that you want to do kind of a randomized question selection process. Don't request one if you aren't going to use that process. So go ahead and create your course shell. And if you later decide, you know what, I also want a library, you can always get one to get us to add one for you later by just submitting a support request.
Okay, thank you so much. And I know we have a question like around that has been coming, like, adjusting the time for this Coffee Talk series. I think that's something that I believe the team will just, get together and try to decide on that. And then hopefully we can, cater to our different, the different needs of our audience. So I would like, before we can always go back to take the question, but I would just like to open it for Kim to just give us some updates. Kim, the floor is yours.
Perfect. Let me grab those office hours. Let me get the links for those. So I did already put the office hour link in. I'll put it one more time just in case you want to join us. Now, the office hours are really created for people who are already in the process. So if you're not quite there yet, we ask you to wait. So we keep those office hours smaller, so smaller groups of people who are actually working right now to structure their online course. And so I'll post that again. This the registration for this for next week, and it is at the same time. Unfortunately, it's the same time just because we have to schedule quite a few people on our side. Part of the issue is if you want the ASU team there, it is this is 7 o'clock. This meeting started at 7 o'clock in the morning for us because we're so far behind you on our Tuesdays, on our days. And so with that next week, it will probably do 7 o'clock. We will talk about it in the future. If we can get a big enough group together at 6 a.m., we might be able to join you, but we do have to make sure that people from our side are able to join us at that time in the morning because that's pretty early. Luckily, Bamie is the only person, she's actually on the continent, so she's a little bit closer to your time frame, but the rest of us are very early. So that's why we have it at this time. But yeah, we'll try to talk about that. If you do want to sign up for office hours, please sign up. We also have our next coffee talk, and so I'll grab that link as well and put it in the chat. We are next time talking about creating online assessments, and I know that's been a hot topic for many people. So if you want to sign up for that already, we have the link. Again, it's about creating those online assessments. So that's in the chat now. You can see it there. You will also get it as an email. So don't think this is the last time you'll see it. You'll get it as an email as well to be able to chat about that this next time. I know assessments, especially keeping your assessments secure and keeping academic integrity while doing online assessments. We have some things to talk about with that. And then just how to create assessments online. We can talk a little bit more about that within the Open edX platform. I will talk about one more thing too. I know that Elizabeth already mentioned that, we're in talks with the Ministry of Education about the actual Open edX platform. No matter what, the skills that you're using it's platform agnostic at some level, where it's going to be the same type of process of structuring your content, getting assessments in there, working from that objective first, and then going backwards. It might be different buttons that you'll push in any platform that you use, but it's the same type of processing, the same type of thing that you're going to do. Of course, we want you to use the Open edX platform, but no matter what the skills that you're using, it transfers to every platform. By now in my process, I've used, I think, four different platforms for teaching, and it's all kind of that same process with each of the platforms. So it's always a good thing to learn these skills no matter what. So hopefully that helps a little bit. Oh, thank you. Do you want me to do this one too? I'll take on the survey. If you can do a survey, I'm putting a lot of things in the chat. Hopefully you're able to see them. I'm trying to outline what they are a little bit more specifically, but if you can fill out this survey, this helps us to guide a little bit of our future sessions as well. So please fill out this survey about this specific webinar. And then it also asks you for other topics that you want to hear about in the future. This is how we knew that you wanted more information on assessments, both through the survey and some of the things that you've said as you are in our chats and in the Q&A here. So hopefully that's helpful. Are there any other questions that we're seeing, Joss, in the Q&A or in chat?
First, I have people who are raising their hands. I would recommend you use the Q&A or the chat. So I think one of the question that is coming is, in the Q&A, we have someone asking, like, how can we access today's discussion? I think that is one of the most repetitive question, which is a good thing. And someone has, like, I have completed built on Open edX and other courses given by Ishi Course Portal. But please give a PDF file to show the steps to upload the material and the video to Open edX. Yeah, please. So this is a question, someone asking that they have finished the courses and now they want to know on the steps on uploading the material and the videos. So yeah, I will open this question for you, and I would like to a little bit elaborate on that question, like add my own question. When
Can I jump in? Can I jump in on that one?
Yes.
So here's the thing. We are actively building this site and actively building the Ishi Media app in terms of adding features and updating it based on user feedback. If we create a PDF document and that gets circulated, and then we change something about how something works, then that is going to no longer work for you. It's no longer going to be a resource that's usable for you. So you are always welcome to any of our knowledge base articles. You can download that as a PDF. You can print it as a PDF and save it. But we really are encouraging you to use these web-based resources, because then when something changes slightly, then when you go and you are accessing that resource, say, now, how do I do that again? And you go back to the knowledge base article, you go back to the how to build an open edX course, you'll have the most recent information about how that technology works. For example, when we first launched the site, discussions in Open edX worked one way, and you had to click on this one component. And actually, I just realized, Christy, the discussion component we showed there was the old way to do that. Discussions work differently now because Open edX did an update. And so we went back to the how to build an Open edX course, and we updated that entire section on how to build a discussion component. So the idea of why you use a discussion that Christy showed you works still. Obviously, that is still true, but you actually click a different place in order to put that into a specific section. It's no longer a component, it's a setting on the unit page. So we really encourage you to go back to these online live resources so that you have the most current information. That knowledge base articles that are linked in Leke's section about the Ishi Media app, that also super helpful place to go and get answers to your questions. So hope that helps. I know PDFs are helpful. And again, by all means, print out any of our pages down so you've got it on your computer. I just would encourage you, if you've done that, make sure you go back every couple of weeks and see if that's still, if the instructions have changed a little bit, if maybe we've changed the setting, or just be prepared when you go to that resource and follow the steps that maybe it might look slightly different, and be ready to just pivot and go back.
Yeah, thank you so much, Elizabeth. So my take from this is these things are changing. So as much as it's important to have like offline documents, it's also important to always go back and check if there are any updates. Thank you so much. I think thank you, Kim, David, Elizabeth, and Bemi for really like replying to some of the question in the Q&A. So we have some of these questions that are coming, and they're also going to come even after this webinar. I just wanted Kim to really touch base on our Padlets, that also we have like a place to ask questions. If you could really talk about that a little bit, Kim, and sorry to put you on the spotlight.
It's okay. Can I share my screen? And maybe that will be the easiest way,
Yes.
just to share some of these items that we have. If mine loads, it will take just a second to load. Oh, there we go. All right. So so for each of these, we put together a Padlet to help with, and let's see that it's going. There we go. We put together a Padlet to help with some of the resources that we like to share, things that might help you. And so this Padlet here, and I'll put it in the chat, but it also comes to you in the form of an email. Let me get that link to put in the chat really quickly. So this is a resource space for you where you can ask us questions. We do try to get in there. Sometimes we're a little bit slow at answering these questions, but you can break out into a discussion board. We'll have our presentations. So this presentation will be uploaded to this very soon. It shows that course map guide, tech resources to help you in building content. This one is another Padlet that kind of breaks out into a space that gives you, like, if you want to create a video, these are ways you can create a video. If you want to do graphics, these are places that we use that are kind of free or freemium places where we can do graphics. Apps for helping, you know, AI can help you to design your course. And so we've tried to add these here, but we've added a list of things. If you want to know, I know that a lot of people in the past have asked about how to use the Media Hub as well. So we have both the media app that Bami and Kevin were talking about, and we have how to access your multimedia studios. They have the hubs there in the group. So we have these all listed, and I will, like I said, get it into the chat. We also had people ask even today about copyright. So we've included these on this space, and I'm unable to get to my chat for the moment until I undo my screen there. Just give me a second and I'll get there. So here is that resource, the Padlet resource, and it ties to several other types of resources that you can use. So you can go and explore there and make sure that you know, if you find something that's not there that you want in there, put it in the, just in the discussion board area, and I'll try to add that back into that resource. Ultimately, we're going to use this as well, and we're going to build out a hub within the Open edX system that will we'll put in some of these resources there and have it kind of organized in a way that you can really start to just build your course. And so that's the thought with that. But feel free to go into that resource and start exploring what we have, and then we will be adding to it.
Thank you so much. I think I just found like a question that I feel like it will be for Kevin and Leki. And the question is like, is the app and the Ishi Media for Android or iOS?
It's a web.
Oh, sorry. Go. I was going to say
Okay.
I did post a response to that, and that is the app itself, the Ishi Media app, is accessible through an internet browser, so it is not dependent on any sort of operating system. It can be accessible as long as you have internet access on a desktop, laptop, or a mobile device. There are stipulations as far as like the size of video, the upper limit on the size of video, as was mentioned earlier in Leke's presentation. And there's also some limitations as to what kind of media file type can be uploaded. Those are all on the FAQs and knowledge base articles, and also in the response that was typed in. So it should be recorded as part of the presentation.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kevin. I have a question around masterclass, but I think about the certificate, if we can have like an email is where they can make those requests. Can someone share that? Yeah, okay, thank you so much. I would, like to take this time to thank our panelists. Thank you so much. Thank you for the team. Thank you, David and Bemi, for also going inside there, and Elizabeth and Kim and everyone, and Christy to just replying to our audience. Thank you for the engaging audience we had. It was a very good opportunity to have you all. Maybe Kim, if you could just drop once like the link for the survey. Just like that. And yeah, so we know that it's late for some for our colleagues in Ethiopia and our colleague Leki. Yeah, we'll just allow you to end the day, and we look forward to having you in our office hours, which is gonna be like a more getting like more practical experience. Yeah, but anyways, happy to for this session. It was engaging. I loved it, and I really appreciate all of you for coming through. Yeah, and we have the link for the survey. And these surveys are very important because we get feedback and also get to know like what are the things that we we may work on and improve, and also the topics that you may want us to touch. Otherwise, our next Coffee Talk series is going to be around assessment, and we promise that this video will be the video, and the different resources shared by the panelists are going to be shared to everyone who attended. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for the questions. Yes.
Yeah, so we'll just stay behind like 3 minutes and 5, and then we'll just call it a day.
Oh, our survey link is not accessible. Is there anybody else had a problem accessing the survey?
That's on
We
me.
just double
Let's
check
see.
that real quick.
Good.
I know the e-learning resources website I had to unlock because it's brand new. So I did that. So if you try that one again, then Kim will try the. If you did post a Q&A, I did go through and make sure to post an answer to all of the ones we had. I know there were a couple we had answered verbally, but I did post those.
And the survey link, I'm going to put the non-bit.ly. Are you able to get into it? I'm getting into it, but it might be because I have, extra access. I have superpowers with it.
Did
So
you want to, you know what, let me try.
it's in the chat just to see if it works. So I put it in the non-bit.ly, and then the bit.ly are in there.
Let me try the bit.ly version and see. And we will hang on here if you have questions, though.
No, I think we have Solomon who
No,
has.
the bit.ly worked.
Okay, maybe, and Baisa, it might just be some blocks that are on your side. It looks like there are several links that might not be working for Baisa specifically. And so that might just be a block on that side. So we will send all of these resources out. You will get them in an email. So hopefully that, if you can just find a different browser or something like that, that might be the best way to go.
Yeah, maybe your VPN.
Okay, yeah, so thank you so much for attending. And I think we can call it a day. And
You.
have a good night to our colleagues in Ethiopia, maybe in Nigeria.
And Eid Mubarak to everyone as well. I know
Yes.
it's a little early, but I don't think we'll see you again before. So thank you for delaying iftar you are observing. So we do apologize that this time kind of crept into that space. So hopefully you were able to make it home in time. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna end this, and bye everyone.
Have a good day.
Take
Bye.
care. Have a great day, everybody.
Take care.
Thank you.